Thank you so much, dear audiences in home and abroad. It's such a pleasure. Today we've got Major General ALM Fazlur Rahman with us to discuss the relations between Bangladesh, India, its priorities, challenges, and realities. He is one of the military generals and leaders of Bangladesh Army who actually uh, has the experience of fighting Indian Army from as one of the very front fighter. So the situation right now is extremely uh, confrontational, and we don't want uh, you know worsening situation. Today, Major General Alam Fazlur Rahman, uh, the former chief of Bangladesh Rifles, will be telling us his experiences, and he will be actually providing all the details about what we actually expect from our neighboring country. Sir, floor is right now yours. Start speaking.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for connecting me to this very important topic, the Indian and Bangladesh, uh, the complex relation and the future. Uh, as I know that we are, since our liberation, not going smooth with India. As you know that in 1973, India created Shanti Bahini infiltrates. Until to date, they are fighting against us. Secondly, very recently, KNF has been created by India. Nathan Bomb is sitting right from India, is fighting us. Yeah, and a lot of blood has been shed by now. Uh, as you aware that the rightful share of the waters of the international rivers that flows through India and Bangladesh, numbering about 54, India constructed more than 4,000 dams, growings, spas, uh, diverting the water in the lean period and flooding us during monsoon. So in the last monsoon time, we had a very devastating floods. Many lives lost, homesteads were devastated, and people got stranded for about 1.5 months. And I don't know how many billions of dollars these damages have been incurred from the coffer of the Bangladesh government and Bangladesh people. So this is what India is doing. Uh, it's very painful that we have not been able to solve any problem so far with India. As you know that on 5th August this year, we had a successful revolution. Our students and people at large, including women and children, took to the street, and Sheikh Hasina had to leave. And this murderous ex-prime minister of Bangladesh, now in India. And maximum of the murderers, looters, corrupt Awami League leaders are now sheltering in India. And from India, Sheikh Hasina is trying to unsettle the country and unsettle the government. You must have noticed that she is talking from there with the help of Indian government. Now, as per international rule, whenever a ruler is ousted and taking shelter of any foreign country, they don't allow to speak anything or to talk about political agendas. violating all the international norms, India allowing Sheikh Hasina to speak to his people in Bangladesh and trying to unsettle the whole country and the government. Now, after the revolution, when on 8th August, this interim government took oath, since then, we have experienced police uprising, Ansar uprising, the labor uprising, and latest is the playing of Hindu cards. Our Hindu brothers and sisters in our country are absolutely in peace. They're absolutely safe. When world is recognizing Bangladesh to be a heaven of communal harmony, India is trying to play the Hindu card, and they are unnecessarily spreading rumors all over the world, giving misinformation that Hindus are being persecuted. Thank God that students of Jagannath University, Sanatani students, they took to the street, they chanted slogan against India, that we
Sir,
are safe.
that was the Jagannath Hall of Dhaka University. Students of Jagannath
Jagannath Hall
Hall.
of Dhaka, I stand corrected, Jagannath Hall of Dhaka University, and they chanted slogan on the street, and they said that it's Indian propaganda must stop, and we are absolutely safe, and there is no problem or Hindu persecution in our country. Now, why India is doing it? India had a big investment by supporting autocratic regime. India claimed they're the largest democracy in the world. On the contrary, they supported Sheikh Hasina, which did not follow any norms of democracy. The votes were carried out at night. There was no turnout, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5%, and they raised it to the 41.8% or something like that. And there was no election last 16 years. Our youths who became voters could not vote in any elections. So this regime was supported by India. The only criminal can support a criminal. Only a criminal can shelter a criminal. We are united, a nation. Inshallah, will overcome all the problems created by India. We will not play Muslim card in India. But I say that if we are pushed against the wall and there is no retreat, we may have to think over exploit the fault lines that India has in their own country. There are wide-ranging dissatisfactions among the minorities in India. We may have to think over that, but I hope that good sense will prevail and this madness will stop. Thank you very much. I want to listen to others.
Okay, thank you, sir. Honestly speaking, India is right now at a crossroad. Okay, we are expecting India to behave with us just like 10 other neighbors, but somehow they forgot that we are not a friendly nation. Honestly speaking, for them, we are very much friendly. We have never tried to harm them. We've always tried our level best to live with them with the very best possible peaceful manner. So, I mean, what can be the very ultimate implications of the attack on Bangladesh embassy in Calcutta? Please.
This is very
What should be the
unfortunate.
best, yeah, reaction from Bangladesh? Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is very unfortunate. It never happens.
Yeah,
And the police were there. I have gone through the protest note that
yeah.
has been served to India from our foreign ministry. I have gone through that, and it was clearly spelled out. They were allowed, the hooligans were allowed to vandalize our High Commission. And that is,
Okay.
and the police were there, police were standing. They did not put any restrictions on the mob to vandalize our this thing and desecrating the flag of our country. So
Okay.
this is something which is India will have to pay to the tomorrow.
Okay.
You see,
Uh,
we haven't started anything against India for the first time. It is the India that compelling us to do that. Still, we are keeping our patience on ultimate extreme. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Right now, I want to ask the question to Major Delwar H. Khan. So he's one of the, a very, very respected army major who served in Bangladesh Army with a very glorious time. So I want to ask him question about the history of Hyderabad and Sikkim. Is there any, chance that India might attempt to annex Bangladesh? And if so, how could we prepare ourselves? Please.
Thank you very much. I hope I'm loud and clear.
Yes, you are loud and clear. Please keep up.
Thank you. Thank you very much. At the very outset, Assalamu alaikum, sir. It is an immense pleasure to be a co-guest with you, living legend like you, sir. It is a pleasure indeed, sir. And also, I'm going to thank the audience who are spending their valuable time with us to listen a few words of our living legend. So let me come back to the question you have asked. First of all, the very question and the premise of the question is really a bit, I should say, tricky and ridiculous as well. Because the context of Hyderabad back in 1948 and again the context of Sikkim in 1976 is entirely different than the context right now we have in our hand. But thank you very much for having a due considerations to those stories because Hyderabad is the last example of any country, any independent country captured by another country, annexed into its own map by force, by military force. So we have to keep that in our mind. It means that the regional cooperation and all other bluffing things India is trying to give to the world at the back in their interior, there is an expansionist ideology working since their independence. You see, Hyderabad was a very good country, and Nizams were quite rich. They had their own army, they had their own currency, even they were a member of the United Nations. But through a very swift offensive, which is known as okay, Shrigot, can you please mute your part because the sound is coming. Okay, thank you very much. So you see the history of Hyderabad is quite concerning because through a very swift offensive led by the then Major General Chaudhary, it was Operation Polo. They captured Hyderabad within 5 days, gave no time to the global powers at that time to retaliate or take some action, and annexed it. And you see, as the price of that operation, later General Chaudhary became the Chief of Army Staff of India. So this expansionist mentality and psyche is still prevailing, and which was repeated again in 1976, while Sikkim was a very nice monarchy. There was Nepal, there was Tibet, there was China, and also there was Bangladesh and India. It was a very peaceful country. But this time, what they did not use military force initially. They destabilized the country and ensured that government is asking Indian army to come in to rescue them. And what they did, they came inside and they had a referendum. Now, you may ask, was the referendum regarding will there be monarchy or not? No. The referendum was that will Sikkim will be joining India as their 22nd state or not? Very interesting. Straight away, they played the final card. And there was 97% vote for joining Sikkim to India as the 22nd state. They joined. The king tried his level best to draw international attention, failed naturally because it was already isolated, diplomatically isolated. And the same card India was trying to play everywhere is that they are trying to save Hindu community, they are trying to save democracy, all these things. So having those examples in mind, at this scenario where India was trying to have an alternative of their chicken neck or the Shiliguri corridor, you know, for Bangladesh, all the cards they are playing, the main reason is that the Shiliguri corridor is a very thin line and line of communication between mainland India and Seven Sisters. And it is quite threatened and repeatedly threatened by China through the pressure of Tibet and in that side with Arunachal. So what they were trying for last 20 years, they were planning. They trained Sheikh Hasina initially in India. You see, once Sheikh Mujibur Rahman died, Sheikh Hasina and her sister was already in Europe. They did not took refuge in any of the European country. They came to India, took refuge. There is a say that she was adequately trained by Raw. Of course, there was a plan at the back of their mind, and she was slowly and gradually made the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, and then for 15 years, it was ensured that she remains. And while she was remaining there, what India was trying that they were trying to ensure the corridor and transits from mainland India to Seven Sisters. We have seen railway lines, we have seen all other avenues and other things. You see, there was a nice bridge in Feni, which was inaugurated by no less than the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Modi. And we Bangladeshi, we did not pay that much heed that why this Prime Minister going there in Feni to inaugurate a bridge, because that was the plan that Chittagong port and the Tripura will be connected through this bridge. So all these were happening there, you see. So there was a master plan, and this master plan was executed through Sheikh Hasina. Already she and her gong,
On this
yeah,
note, I want to add about the Abrar Fahad. He actually demonstrated his protest against this very same thing. Could you please actually raise Abrar Fahad? He was the Buet
I,
student from Bangladesh who was, yeah, please.
I respectfully recall brother Abrar Fahad. He was the first Shaheed who tried to say against the Indian hegemony, and he was beaten and tortured and killed. He was brutally killed. He is the first Shaheed of our this new revelation against Indian hegemony. So, with that respect, I am coming back to the question you asked. So, at this scenario, is there any possibility of India trying to annex Bangladesh? Well, uh, General Fazul Sar is already there. Waging a war and annexing a country is not a decision taken whimsically. There should be a lot of reason for what actually. You see, people think that wars are waged by the generals. No, it's not like that. The more we study a war, we understand this simple fact is that what is war? War is that I have some will, I want to push my will on you. If you subjugate automatically, salute, okay, it's all right. But if you do not want to subjugate to my will, then I try to force you diplomatically. Once diplomacy fails, then I go to the parliament, ratify the war decision, and declare a war. Once the war is declared, accordingly military moves. So the soldiers are at the last year of the entire war game. So it is already played by the diplomats and then by the politicians, of course. So let us try to understand what India want from this scenario. They initially we can say that their plan to have a clean alternative access to the chicken neck towards Seven Sisters through using Sheikh Hasina and her regime was jeopardized, severely jeopardized on 5th of August. And once she fled to India, you see, India is so shameless, so shameless. They are giving shelter to her. And what now they are trying to do? Now they are trying to de- impose their will on us, and they are trying it in a very bad way. Okay, annexation may not be because the case of Hyderabad and Sikkim is not same for Bangladesh, especially for a few definite reasons. Number one is that Bangladesh army itself is already battle experienced. And if you read the book of General D.K. Palit on Bangladesh, at some part of his book, he said that it is impossible to actually maneuver in Bangladesh in rainy season. So rainy season is our one of the strength, and our another strength is our people. They during 1971, things has happened in one way because we were trying to get liberated from the occupation of Pakistan army. So we invited Indian army to come inside, and we made a joint force and we fought. But this time, if Indian army tries to get inside Bangladesh, it will be like the song Hotel California. You can always check out, but you can never leave. So, Bangladesh is a very interesting terrain, and it's very difficult for any occupation army, to have declare victory over here. So, we'll not go to those details right now because this is subjected to a lot of ifs and buts that they will try to do something like that. But now, the second part of your question, how we should prepare ourselves. So that is a really very interesting question. With the permission of General Fazlur Rahman sir, if I take another 2-3 minutes to elaborate on that. Number one is that we have to understand that India is launching a deliberate propaganda campaign against Bangladesh. So they are trying to create a narrative that in Bangladesh minorities are at risk, and maybe they're trying to create a scenario where they are trying to prove that Bangladesh, interim government of Bangladesh is not that capable enough. They are not quite democratic, and eventually they are not quite capable to create harmony and keep stability in Bangladesh. Once there will not be stability in Bangladesh, they will try to claim that the regional stability is disturbed, and with that plea they will try to do something else. So immediately what we should do is that we need to counter this narrative. And how we can do that? Okay, as an independent country, we can engage with the international forums like United Nations, SARC, YC, and if possible with ASEAN, so that people remains aware. The advantage is that Dr. Yunus is already so popular in this world phenomenon that almost all the leading countries in the world are having an eye on Bangladesh. So we need to prepare our media accordingly so that we can have our counter narrative, and we can actually deter initially, and then if possible we should thwart their this propaganda campaign. Followed by is that we should also raise our voice and raise the issues that repeatedly our embassies in India are getting attacked, which is absolute violation of Vienna Convention. So that is an international norm which has been violated, and India is not taking any action. So I think that is the area where we should also raise issues and keep global community aware that India is trying to do all those things. Followed by another important thing is that they are repeatedly playing their minority card. Already, General has told this thing in this session. So what we need to do, we need to ensure that there is an international investigation. If possible, 50% of the cost should be given by India, and there should be a fair investigation that really is there any minority torture or minority violations happening in Bangladesh. And also we have to keep an eye and comparison that the Muslim minority are violated in India also. So we have to compare this thing if possible. But until the international investigation is over, India should shut their dirty mouth. They should not use their dirty medias and try to do this all this propaganda until and unless the investigation is over. If they have the guts, they should accept this investigation and send people accordingly. Now, regarding regional, you see, Bangladesh is a regional key partner, and for last few years, we have started to understand the importance of Bangladesh. USA wants us, China wants us, India wants us, and there are reasons for that because in the Bay of Bengal, strategically, the position we have, so this is a very interesting and very valuable position. We should use this position accordingly. I think this is right time to increase our entity and our communication with the regional powers like Japan, Turkey, and China also, so that we can have some counterbalance of the Indian influence happening here. And also, we need to ensure that we have due support from the Muslim Ummah. We have to have very close ties and relationship with the Middle Eastern countries, stronger Muslim brothers, so that they also understand that being majority in Bangladesh, uh, the Hindutva syndrome is happening in this area with the help of this ISKCON and all other things. A Muslim lawyer is killed in the courtyard by them. Minority is now killing the majorities. So the patience we are showing, our leadership is showing that should get due regards. And also, we have to have closer ties now with Pakistan, perhaps, to give a clean signal to India that things has dramatically changed. And I think what they are trying, like Hyderabad and Sikkim, they are trying to make us diplomatically isolated. We need to come out of this. The way I should say in a football sense that we must go for the counter attack. So that is one way. I'm left with another 2 points. One is economically, we need to gain our strength. So one way is that already ongoing India boycott and Indian goods boycott should be intensified. And also, we have to understand that our dependency in Indian import should be reduced drastically. We need to find alternative sources like China, then other SAARC countries, and ASEAN and European sources should be tried and explored so that we have better trade ties with those countries. And we have to specifically think and strategize that there are few goods on which India tries to do some monopoly. So we have to ensure that we have our local supply chain and also maybe production in our country so that we come out of those dependency. And finally, in that economic note, I am going to add another point is that we need to ensure that the Indian public perception should be changed. They should not think that our only tourist destination is India and our only medical destination is India. They need to believe that having good relation with us is equally important for them in these regards. And of course, this is the high time when we need to review all the transit and corridor pacts and agreements we did overtly or covertly. And if any clauses are there which doesn't necessarily uphold Bangladesh interests first, so we need to review and cancel all those clauses. And we have to actually try to some extent like Maldives. We need to show our hard front, like the general shows usually, because at the end of the day, my interest comes first. And of course, you are waiting for the military part, so I'll touch upon on that a bit because this is very important. You see, India is Wolfland. That is how I know it. So we need to bring back in our psyche, our officers and soldiers in their psyche. We need to bring back Wolfland. If your neighboring country is your potential enemy, and if you have threat, only then you need an army. Bangladesh has got a very deterrent army. If you do not have any threat either side of the border, then why you are having this big army? So if we have threat, we have to accept it. We have to spell out clearly, fearlessly, and unapologetically. We have to say that India is wolfland, and our army should devise itself accordingly. We should have non-Indian sources for our training and materials. It's not on that you buy your arsenals and training equipments from your potential enemy. It is rather ridiculous. It is not on that in your military training centers, your potential enemies officers are working there as instructors. We have seen this. So we have to wipe those off. We have to get rid of those things. And also, to increase our capability, military capability, we have to go to other sources like Turkey, China, or any other good countries from where we can have technological exchange, and also joint exercises can be done to increase our military capability here. And if at all, as I said, that India tries to cross the international boundary, well, we are ready. We have our monsoon. We'll draw their war and battles up to monsoon, and we'll beat them accordingly, because we will definitely fight asymmetric war. And in an asymmetric war, Bangladesh army, always there is a plan that the entire population and populace will join and gradually become the military force. And you see, in this area, a very interesting thing happens. Once you attack a smaller country with this much of demographic dividend, they will take the battle to your country. We will always take the battle to enemy's territory.
Okay,
This
thank you,
is
sir.
exercised a lot also. So
Yeah. And now I
I
want,
stop here. Thank you very
yeah,
much.
we will be coming back to you once again, sir. Please stay with us. We'll be going to the general, sir. We've got plenty of people waiting for to pose you a lot of questions in the backstage. We'll be bringing them. We hope they will be waiting for us as well. Right now, I want to pose a very simple and strategic question to General Fazlur, sir. Sir, we have been actually watching Republic World, NDTV, and a lot more, even so-called secular progressive media in India. They're propagating against Bangladesh in a very nonsensical manner. But from the side of Bangladesh, we haven't actually witnessed so many English talk shows in our in mainstream TV channels to challenge the narrative which is being established by these uh, channels. So, could you please tell us something about the importance of doing some kind of talk shows like this about the Indian hateful narratives against Bangladesh, please?
We are here, you see.
Yeah,
We are
yeah, I can
conversing
see.
in English to give a
Yes, sir.
message to the world that
Yeah,
what India is doing with Bangladesh. So it has already started, and I think that government would also take steps to activate the print medias to give the message to the world that, well, we mean business, and we are a peaceful country, and we have traditionally maintained a communal harmony in our country for years in the past, and also future too. Uh, Indian propaganda has already failed because it is the world is absolutely clear. You must know that uh, whatever you do in your country, you cannot hide to the world. It's the technological development. So there are a lot of satellites out there, the spy satellites out there. They are through the embassies, the Western media are covering Bangladesh, all sides. So if India only claims, that Hindus are being killed, Hindus being tortured, this will not get much ground.
yeah,
But despite, you see, we must try hard, project our case to the world.
yeah,
Uh, I think we are going slow. There's no doubt about that. There are a lot of talk shows are held every day, every night, and also the TV channels. They also conduct. But hardly that English this thing, version are there. They should immediately start. What I will emphasize is the Hindu, those who are patriot, love Bangladesh, and absolutely peaceful. They should be brought to the light to speak to the medias and to be taken to the all corners. Maybe they may be sent abroad to project our views and points to America, Europe, and other advanced countries where uh, uh, India is trying to convince that persecution is taking place in Bangladesh. So that steps the government must take. But in individual level or in the TV channels, this must start. This is good suggestions. I accept. They should start. And I also thank Colonel Hawk that he has started an English version talk show projecting the case of Bangladesh to
Okay.
the world.
Okay,
So
sir.
this is
I want to ask a simple question about the global strategic issue right now. Tulsi Gabbard has been appointed the National Intelligence Chief of uh, America, right? She is a self-declared ISKCON member. We don't have any problem with ISKCON. We have problem when it comes to the security concern of Bangladesh, right? So some people are coming up with the narrative that Donald Trump is right now going to take over the whole narrative in this subcontinent just because he has addressed or shown up this minority card. So if the same goes with to the India, suppose if we say in India Muslims are being repressed, what will be the what should be the response from the American side? Please, what
I
America should
don't
do?
really, I don't really see any sort of benefit that India can draw out of Tulsi Gabbard. She's an American man. She doesn't bother what India is doing and what Bangladesh is doing. She will always look after the interests of America. And America, being a technologically developed country, would certainly come to know. The American embassy is here. There are many avenues or many tentacles to collect information and pass it down to the government. CIA is there, and all other, intelligence organizations are there. They are not blind. They are already connected with Bangladesh. You know that in the past year, before the elections, many visits were taken place from American high-level diplomats. They came, and they knew as what happened at that time and what is going to happen. They also know about that. What I would say that, Rishi Sunak was the Prime Minister of England, and India was very happy. What happened to India? Could they get anything extra? Tell me. So when he was taking over, there were a lot of rituals were maintained. Hindu rituals were maintained. The ISKCONs were there.
Kamala
Kamala
Harris.
Harris,
We were expecting Kamala
when
Harris
she
to be
was
the
first taking
president.
over office, there were a lot of rituals. Uh,
Kamala Harris. They wanted
yeah,
Kamala
Kamala
Harris.
Harris. But nothing happened. Nothing happened. So we should not be bothered. Uh, uh, Trump is a sensible man, and he said, "Make America great again." So he'll be concentrating his views and points and plans to make America great. So I expect that after he has taken over, the tension in the world subside. Hopefully, that Ukraine war would come to a conclusion. The Middle East, this thing, that conflict would find a solution, and solution of the Palestinian problems. Though I feel that two-state solution is a far cry, but despite, you can hope for that tension would reduce. But at the same time, what is going to happen is the South China Sea is a point to consider because this is the focal point of future global tensions. And America is arming Taiwan heavily, and China is also flexing the muscle. So I think that if anything happens, it will happen globally. And I forecasted in many of my writings that if there is a naval war in which America, China, Japan, Australia, India, New Zealand participates, it will be very difficult for China to defeat the naval power. So if there is a naval warfare in South China Sea, it would be the first example that a country has been defeated by naval power. Uh, this is also, I don't know whether it's going to take place or not, but Quad has been formed to isolate China. If China cannot have an outlet going through South China Sea and through Malacca Strait to the Indian Ocean and Arabian Sea and going through the Middle East, because the 60 to 70% oil comes from Middle East to China. If this is hampered, I think the tension would foment and grow, in which Bangladesh will have to play a very balanced role, not going directly to the conflict and also satisfying the need of the world power. So this is, I think, by this time the elected government would come and would certainly would be managed by the elected government. This government at the moment is busy with the reform activities that they undertaken. Six subjects they are dealing with the reform. And I have heard that the number of advisors would increase by 10 or 12. I don't know. And this is going to happen. And I think this government is also taking a good step to resolve the
Sir,
problem.
sir, in this regard, we want a general like you to be one of the advisors in this interim government, so that you can lead the nation to the very right path. We really
Thank
badly
you.
need a person like you, sir. Right now,
Thank
I
you very
want
much.
welcome, sir.
Thank you
Right
very
now, I
much
would love to.
for your support and good wishes. It is up to the government, up to
We
the
are for Professor
people.
Dr. Yunus government, but we also request and urge and call upon Professor Dr. Yunus to select and choose people like you in this
Yes,
very
as
hard
a
time.
freedom fighter, I have a different attachment to this country because I fought for the liberation of this country,
Yes.
and I know that how country to be protected and how
Okay.
it is to flourish in the world, and what are the
Yeah.
actions to be taken by the government, by the individual level, and how to harness the whole power of the nation to concentrate against
Yes.
our
Yes.
enemy.
Uh,
And
uh, uh,
I hope government would think on that. Thank you.
yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure, sir. On this note, I want to actually request Mr. Suhail Mojumdar Bhai to uh, actually ask any question you want to any of our guests, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving the floor and joined with our honorable patriot, Sir Fazlur Rahman, is my only, uh, as my experience of the history of Bangladesh, the man here available in front of us and lots of viewers watching this program. I'd like to mention him after late President Jia Rahman. He's the only one live Bengal tiger. So really, we are lucky. Now, come to the point. Actually, as our political establishment and political party and Bangladesh, uh, what is going on now? A couple of months after having our revolution, after winning the last revolution, July 24, we maybe may I can say it is our failure. It is our failure. Though we are not actually practicing English, but I like try to do try to uh, say something. Uh, our after revolution, July 24, we are going in wrong track. as my views, in my views. So, sir, it is time to dictate to our honorable advisor, prime advisor, Dr. Muhammad Yunus, sir, may have a lot of chance to reveal our new government to establish, to take it right way, to drive a long way. Nowadays, we see we are hearing from our neighbor country, we are hearing from England, America, Western, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think so. It is not correct because no nation can defeat us, no nation can defeat one if they are inside, they are in your own nation, if there is no betrayer in our country. Last 53 years in our country, inside our country, there is a lots of betrayer. We are tolerate them. Why? After a big sacrifice, thousands lives killed, genocides, and we are struggling with the hunger. We are struggling with our bad administration. Why we have to do face it? We no need to hear who tell about who disguise our politics, who always try to defeat us. Who I don't know, I don't understand why. It is very clear. We have to make ourselves confident with the moral, dignified. We should take the measure, constitutional, legislative, and our citizen rights. We have to establish, first of all, we have to establish our legislative citizen rights
Right. Thank
correctly,
you.
and we have to play with the right way. There is no sacrifice. There is
Yeah.
no way to. There is no way to overlook.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for addressing the concern.
We already
Bye.
find
So
out
where
a
are you
lot of
speaking to?
guilties lot of guilties from previous 111 government. There is a mastermind, lot of betrayers of the nation. We know them. Why they are still sit there? How
Okay.
they?
Yes. Where are you
Thank you,
speaking
sir.
from?
When
Where?
I think about when I think about my country, I make myself emotional.
Yeah. Where are you
If
speaking
there is
from?
any chance, I
Where?
joined with them fight in front of. Thank you,
Okay.
sir. Have a nice day. Out of our practice, so
Okay.
sorry for.
Where are you speaking from, Bry? Where are you speaking from?
I'm from Italy now.
Italy, right? Nice to know, Suhal Bhai. So you want to pose this specific question to any of them here, General Fazlur sir or Major Delwar sir? Whom do you want to
Yeah,
pose this question?
of course. I have to say, I have to ask them. They're
Yeah.
honorable and intellectual and patriot. There is no doubt.
Yeah.
But there is a questions.
Yeah.
Why, sir? Don't raise the questions about inside the present administration. There is a lot of uh, mm, how can I explain? Lot of betrayal in a world, lot of betrayal inside the
Yeah, thank you.
present administration. It's a clear sound and clear like a sunlight.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
why?
Thank you for
Please
raising the
raise
fantastic.
your voice.
You.
Every
Yeah.
part, every corner of the world, please. Every people of the country who are staying now. I know there is a lot of risk, but there is also we know after birth we have to die. So there is no damn care. I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't. I no need to care about any like that kind of betrayers. We
Right,
no
sir.
need to honor. We no need to
Thank
tolerate them. No need. No way.
Such a pleasure. Pleasure to know. We're very happy to get you over there. from Italy. You've addressed your concerns. We've got some comments who are actually telling that we are speaking against ISKCON. No, we're not speaking against ISKCON.
No, no, no,
Let
no, no.
ISKCON be a religious organization. We're not actually coming.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not coming up to show that we are very great English
Please
speakers.
pardon me,
We
sir.
don't claim us.
Pardon. Please, please,
Yeah,
please pardon me, sir. Please pardon me, sir.
yeah,
The lazy people, the idle people always claim to others.
mm,
The idle people, the lazy people, the corrupted people
mm,
always make different sense to cover
mhm.
his guilty, his weakness, and every nation. You know, the developed world, the developed nation,
Yeah.
they are not interested to discount others. They are not. There is another thing. Foreign department. They should be engaged with the foreign department in the business. Their business will be the department. Six. Didn't, there is a lots of department, individual department available to fight the against the country interest.
Okay, sir. Thank
So
you so much. Thank you. So I want to actually provide the floor to Dilwar sir to say something about his concerns. Please, floor is right now yours, sir. You're now
Thank you
mute.
very much, Mrs. Well. This is Bangladesh, and I request Shikut again to mute because it's creating some noise.
Yes.
So, what I was telling that this is Bangladesh. What Mr. Sohail is telling, we are not at all uh, fearful to speak out our mind. For last 15 years, things were suppressed, and this was not done alone by this dictator or fascist. It was done by raw, having entire intelligence and all the uh, power, soft power and hard power at their arsenal to ensure that we are silenced. But in 5th of August, the students of Bangladesh, they have showed us the way. And that's why I request Mr. Sohel and people like us to have some patience. The concern he has shown is that in the every sector of the entire administration, a lot of betrayers are waiting there. These gaddars, beimans, and betrayers, we need to clean them up slowly and gradually. And in doing so, I would request, considering the latest situation in Bangladesh, um, this is a high time when actually we need to create a deterrent Bangladesh, a very united Bangladesh. We cannot sacrifice unity right now because a lot of factions and vested groups are trying to break our unity and trying to prove that Bangladesh is eventually a failed state, which we are not. So this is the right time when I think General Fazul sir is also will agree with me that we need to introduce compulsory military education for our young people. They need to be disciplined and ready for a greater cause from now. I'll also request to the government and the chief advisor's office to look into the matter that more than 2 lakhs retired military personals, including officers. Officers are not that much. It's around 6,500 so far we could retire officer so far we have produced. Uh, Around 700 has already died. Around 2,000 are quite aged. Right now, they are not ready for physical combat. But again, there are at least 2,000 officers are available, uh, whom Bangladesh can utilize in various sectors. Right now, we are at emergency, and these officers are highly trained on management of emergency, not only in Bangladesh, in globally. During UN peacekeeping mission, in many countries they have served. They have managed emergencies, they have managed elections, they have managed administration in those places. So my earnest request will be to the government is to make use of those talented officers, trained officers. The nation has invested a lot of money training these officers. So for next 6 months at least, take their support, manage the situation, and let them go again. The retired officers, retired souls, they want to remain in peaceful scenario. Like the general said that he is very peaceful at his position. But again, if he is made an advisor, okay, who can be better home advisor than him? Right now, we need a very strong border guard. We need at least our border guard should be able to give us that notice period for our main army so that if there is any invasion or any disturbance, they can take adequate preparation within that period of time. So he led that force. He knows the ins and out of that force. So we must use that, I should say, experience, skill, and the talent we have in our hand. Right now, overnight, you cannot produce 2,000 experienced law. So let us use those and try to manage the situation the way Sohail Bhai and other people are expecting. This is the hard time, and Bangladesh need to act accordingly. Thank you.
Right now, I want to provide the floor to General Fazlur sir to say that how can we actually solve or resolve this diplomatic crisis peacefully with our neighboring country. What are the diplomatic means, please?
It's not only the diplomatic problems that we are facing at this moment. This is a problem that our neighbor is posing on us directly. We can say it is a military, political, and diplomatic problem that we are facing at this moment from Indian side, because they're attacking our embassies and also coming to the border to cross. So these are not diplomatic problems that India is posing to us. We have to consider this, and this move by Indians have already made us what wrong. And I would ask the government and also the military commanders that we must view this a military threat that's from Indian side. Must take adequate preparations to face the enemy squarely on the border. Had this been, something that dealing with our business or export, import, and all these things could have been an economic problem with India, or maybe that border problem, border killing, how to is to be solved. But this is something that India is all out to harm and dishonor Bangladesh all over the world. So this is not only the diplomatic problem. Diplomatically, yes, well, our embassy was attacked, High Commission was attacked. Bangladesh government has given a very tough note to India, and India has apologized and they expressed sorrow for these unwarranted actions by their people.
Thank
I
you,
hope
sir.
that
I
I
want to
hope,
request, yeah, I want
but
to request
they,
one of the audience to ask you questions, sir. Soyed Raja, he's over there waiting
okay,
to long while.
okay, okay,
Mr. Soyed Raja, please ask
please.
your question to General and Major Dilwar, sir. Please.
Can you hear me? Assalamu alaikum. I can't hear you at all. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very well. You're very loud and clear. Keep up.
Okay,
Excellent.
wonderful, wonderful. It's nice to be with you people, gentlemen. In fact, if you gentlemen and mainly to Mr. Fazlur Rahman, it's indeed a pleasure to talk to you on your program. And
Thank
I
you.
have been listening to all your people in Bangla for a long, long time, since the days Mr. Haq started. So now it's time for us to participate in English, because I was outside the country for 37 years. Now I'm in my own country for last 4 years. So indeed, I'm very much interested about what is going on all around. I'm a little bit uh, shaky and nervous. This is my first time to talk to you gentlemen in any live, any program. And I'm very much fond of chat shows, and I've been listening the all Indian and Pakistani chat shows for last 10, 20 years. So I know their psyches. I know the Indian psyche, how they propagate, how they take something out of nothing, and they make a more. They made a mountain from a molehill. What you can say? They make a mountain from a molehill. These are all what I've been watching in Indian media. These are all what do you call it? Media fantasies and media propaganda. So we should not pay that much attention. We should not be nervous. They can't do anything. It is their internal politics. If you see Mamta Banerjee now, what she is saying, it is a tricks and technique, I think, to I mean, against BJP. I'm sure BJP will never go to United Nations and ask them to come to Bangladesh and look for it. They will never do it. So in a way, Mamta will later on say, "Look, I told you to go to United Nations and do something for it, and you did not do it." So it's their own internal politics. Believe me, we have power of people power. We are the People's Republic of Bangladesh. We are not secular. We are not Muslim. So far, we are not Muslim Republic, or so we are People Republic of Bangladesh. So my only request to all you: don't pay any attention to their media propaganda or the BJP propaganda or their political propaganda. Only look after the military programs, what they are really, their military maneuvering, what they are doing around us, what they are doing. That is the main concern should be ours. The rest, forget about everything. And also we can counter their media with some counter narratives, what they are doing there in their own country, what they are doing in their against the what do you call it, minorities, be it Christian, be it Muslim, be it Sikh, anybody. So it is Indian policy, and it is their what do you call it, the foreign policy as well, telling keeping United States one side, keeping Russia one side. They are friends to everyone. They are also having Commonwealth, friendship to everyone. But if you look at the neighbors around, what they are doing with the neighbors, they don't have really any friend at the moment. Nor Sri Lanka, nor what do you call it, Maldives, or Pakistan as well, but now Bangladesh, even Bhutan. Nobody is their friend. So it is only one request to all of you, that don't pay any attention. Don't pay. Do your job. Make our country good, better, best. Look for whatever is required to do for our country. Just do it. Try. I mean, our national leaders should understand. We need unity. We should understand that this is the crunch time, a real time where we can, where we have to be united to fight from rest of the world.
Such a
India
pleasure.
is a very big country, a very big name. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And maybe next time I'm a bit
Yes,
shaky and
you
nervous.
must join
I
us
don't know
on
what to
regular
say,
basis.
but whatever
You
I have
can,
said, it is all from the core of my heart.
yes.
Thank you very much
Please,
indeed.
please rejoin us on regular basis whenever we are coming up every day. Please join us. Okay, we're super
Sure,
happy to
sure.
get.
I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. And
Yes.
and also let me tell you, 37 years I have stayed in Saudi Arabia. I can speak fluent Hindi. I used to fight with the Indian people. I said, I know better than your country. What do you know about your country? I know better about your own country. I know India much better than any Indians.
Yeah.
I know Pakistan much better than any Pakistani.
Right. Right, sir.
So
Right.
I am here. If you want anything, please do call me, and on a side base, on the side, please let me know. I will give you my contact telephone number also.
Okay, sir. Please
And it
stay
is
with us.
and thank you very much for Mr. Del H. Khan. I don't know you, but indeed
He's
it's
a
a
major.
pleasure.
He's a major
It's a
from Bangladesh
pleasure.
Army. Yeah.
Oh, it's a pleasure talking to you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you so
of
much and
course, Mr.
congratulations.
Fazlur Rahman, you are the on the top. You are on the top. Believe me, whenever I
Thank you
see
very
you,
much.
I get a lot of confidence.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay.
Walaikum
So,
salam.
so right now he has actually expressed his desires for a national unity, for the greater national security interest. Sir, please, both of you can actually come up about this issue. For the first time, please, Delwar sir, and then General Fazlul sir will take over. Please, how to form the national unity for the national security interest of Bangladesh right now, please.
Thank you very much. National unity is the call of the day right now. It is the call of the time. We have to accept it. This is the reality, and this is the only way to survive right now. We need to be united. We need to be united, like the way we were united in 1971. In 1971, there were Rajakars and Alvadors. Still, we own the battle, own the war at that time. So this time also, let us don't expect that all our Bangladeshi brothers and sisters, all of them are going to come and get united, because India, through his hegemony, is relentlessly trying to divide us. They are trying to exploit the Chatro League, and also Awami League factions are available there. We can see everywhere. Even the election of Bangladesh Bank welfare associations that proved that they are trying it actively. And also, you see, it will increase in the coming days. Yeah, there will be a lot of sabotage and subversive activities around the country if we are not united. So, the thing we are repeatedly telling, that you see the Bangladesh media is still, the ice is not melted, as if they are still under the fascist regime and they do not have their voice and clarity in their voice. They are not at all able to pose a counter narrative against the propaganda shooting by the Indian media. And there are canvassers and all other people joining Indian media against us. We have seen a lot of those. So right now, the call of unity is that even in the military, we have learned that once we move in dark, we need to keep our formation close. We need to ensure that the gaps between me and my comrade beside, ahead, or at my back, there should be a less gap between us. So I would request, finally, as my concluding remark, is that please look and try to take care of the person at your right, at your left, at your front, and at your back. Try to know them.
Right.
Try to know them and try to remain united. And that is the way you are going to find who all are the betrayers and the fifth columnists.
Yes.
So through those fifth columnists, they will try to create sabotage and harm us. Let us remain careful and cautious. Let us respect our seniors and the patriotic ex-freedom fighters. Let us listen to them. Thank you very much.
It was a great pleasure to get Major Delwar sir here today with us. And I will be actually asking General Fazlur sir the same question. But before that, I want to actually raise the concerns of some of the comments which we are right now popping up here. One of the person named Akond Bharat was telling that ISKCON has more than 100 branches all across the country. Bangladesh doesn't have so many embassies and other branches. We are not fighting ISKCON. Listen, once again, we are not fighting India as well. We have great cultural linguistic homogeneity with Calcutta and a lot more parts of the India. Okay, so we are very thankful that India helped Bangladesh back in 1971. This legacy is always ever remembered. Here, I also want to say that those people who are telling that we're not speaking like those Indians, are Bangla and their Hindi are totally different continents. We are from totally different backgrounds. So we are here for the communication. We want to talk to each other, right? Just because of the communication gap, this kind of propaganda is right now being spread in the Republic world, NDTV. And we also request all the army generals, Gaurav, even Arnab Goswami, even Gaurav Arya, and all other army majors and generals who are spreading wrong things about Bangladesh, being misguided by some of the people that Bangladesh is right now crushing all the Hindu minorities. Bangladesh has a legacy of protecting Hindu minorities for hundreds and thousands of years, right? So Major General Fazlur Rahman, he is one of the forefront fighters of Bangladesh, liberation war, and he will be right now coming up with some of the means and approaches through which we will be forming national unity government by excluding people like General Fazlur Rahman to actually advise the government, new government, interim existing government, for the national security interest. Thank you, sir. Please, we will be coming up with the conclusion with this, please.
I just observed on my mobile phone screen that Chief Advisor has decided to give a call of unity for the nation. He will be calling the nation for unity. This is a very good step. And at the same time, we may say that the gravity of situation is fully understood by the government. So it is the time that we must unite behind the government and prepare ourselves to face the situation squarely. This is the time to not to criticize our own failures, point out our own failures. This is the time that we must look directly to the eye of the enemy. Those are threatening our existence. So this is the call of the time that we must try as a nation unitedly to face the enemy, and our armed forces and our people joining hands together are on the ground if need be. And this perception that we must keep to our enemy and to the world. And at the same time, we must take all the measures to counter the enemy propaganda in electronic and also in the print media. That would be the right approach. Preparing for the worst and taking actions currently going on in the country. Thank you.
Yes. Sir, Major Delwar, sir, will you please add something to his speech?
Oh, that was once. Thank you very much.
Okay, that was right. So that was an amazing program today, and goodbye for now, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Sir, you are muted. You are muted.